This video is going to demonstrate how to build a kitchen using SketchUp. The goal is to model the cabinetry, the doors, the counters, pretty much everything that you would need for a kitchen. In my model, the kitchen is in a tighter space than I would like to work with, so I'm going to show you first how to cut through the model using a section plane. That way we have a little easier access to that area. The section plane is located over here on the large tool set, right underneath the eyeball. If you don't have this large tool set, be sure to go to View and choose Toolbars and make sure that large tool set is checked. I'm going to go ahead and click on the section plane, and when I do, you'll see that a box attaches to my cursor, and as I move through the model, it adheres to different planes depending on what wall or floor surface that I'm actually hovering over. I want to come over to this side of the model, and I'm going to make it a red square, and I'm hovering over this particular wall. Go ahead and click on it, and this window will pop up. Just go ahead and click OK. We don't need to worry about what that's saying. This is a section plane, and it's designed to cut through the model and hide portions of it so that you can see into other portions. So I'm going to grab the section plane, I'm going to use the move command, and I'm going to move it towards the kitchen, and you can see how it's actually cutting through the model. And now, students, we can see into the areas that the little spiders live in the walls. Isn't that exciting? I'm going to go all the way to the kitchen, and I'm going to cut through this wall, but I'm going to go until I just can't see it anymore, and then I'm going to click to make it stick. And that's great. Now I can come into this kitchen and I can work without having to worry about that wall being in the way. Now the section plane, I want to kind of hide it so that I don't have to worry about it too much. So I'm going to click on it, right click, and choose hide. Then you'll see that it disappears. If you want to see it reappear, just go to View and check Hidden Objects, and you'll see it comes back. You'll notice that it's dashed, and that just indicates that it's in hide mode. If you want to get it to unhide, just right click and choose unhide. And now it's back. But I do want to keep it hiding, so I'm going to right click and choose hide. And so it's dashed again. And then I'm just going to go back up to View and uncheck Hidden Objects. And then we're back to where we want to be. Alright, so let's look at modeling these cabinets. We're going to start with the base cabinets. So I'm going to trace over this line work that we have here. So I'm going to use the rectangle tool for this back set. So I can click in the corner, and then I can click on the diagonal corner of the cabinetry, and it places a face. And what you see happening is there's a gray area and a white area, and as I move, it's kind of conflicting with each other. And SketchUp is just saying that, hey, that rectangle that you just drew is actually at the same level as the floor that was already drawn. So I'm having a hard time differentiating between the two. And that's okay. It can be at the same level. What we're going to do is we're going to use the push-pull tool, and we're going to push it up 36 inches. Excellent. So this is including the countertop as well as the cabinets. We're going to draw this one a little bit differently because we have the arch in here, and we also have this particular appliance, which is the stove that's placed in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and trace. I'm going to use the pencil tool. I'm going to start right here. Click, click. I'm going to go to the stove, and then I'm going to go all the way back. And I'm just going to go where this mark is right here. My next step is to finish with this arc, and so I can use the 2-point arc right here. And it's a 3-click system, so the first click starts the arc. Make sure you get it in the right spot. The second click finishes the arc, and the third click helps you determine like how deep that arc is. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm clicking right on that line work, which should be right there, and making sure that I didn't like draw up off the floor or anything like that. And then I'm going to use the push-pull tool to see that I did create a separate face. And I'm going to push this up 36 inches. And I'm going to repeat the same thing over on the other side. And I went through a wall, and that's exactly why I didn't have the other wall showing. So let's come over here, pencil tool. Again, you have to really kind of pay attention. The CAD works a little wonky. I'm going to click here, so I'm not clicking on the end of the stove, I'm clicking where the countertop is. There we go. Draw and trace right over this until I get here, then switch to the 2-point arc, click to start, click to finish, and then click to determine the height of the arc. Push-pull tool, you should see that you have a separate face. Push it up 3 feet or 36 inches, same thing. And there you have those cabinets. Excellent. Now we're going to need to extend the countertop over at some point, but we're not going to worry about that right this moment. We're just going to stick with just the cabinets themselves. Alright, so what I want to do is I do want to draw in where the countertops are going to be located, and I also want to put in the toe kicks of these cabinets. So I'm going to use the measuring tape tool. I'm going to come over on this back set over here, and I'm going to click, drag downwards, drop it, and type 1.5 inches. That is the typical thickness of a countertop. Again, grab, drag, 1.5 inches. So I'm doing it on the front side of the cabinets as well as the side. Then I can take my pencil tool and I can mark where that is. And I have just now separated the counters from the cabinets, which is perfect. That way I can add materials to the countertop that's different from the cabinets. I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side. Measuring tape tool. I'll do this side down 1.5. This side down 1.5. So it's already marked it over here. I am going to do this side down 1.5. I'm not going to worry about this side. I'll show you why in a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and take the pencil tool and I'm going to trace over all those edges. Right where those guidelines were. Make sure you get the right spot. There we go. And now I have countertops on the cabinets. I'm going to do edit, delete guides because those guidelines drive me crazy. And then I'm going to use the measuring tape tool one more time to mark the toe kicks. So toe kicks are always 4 inches up from the floor. Measuring tape tool, grab the guide up 4 inches. And I'm just doing the fronts of the toe kicks. And the reason why is because then we can take the push-pull tool and we can just push this area in 3 inches. So they're up 4 inches and in 3 inches. Don't ask me, I didn't make the rules. I just go by them. So pencil tool to score so that we have 2 different faces. Push it in 3 inches. Push it in just a little, 3 inches. And there we have our cabinets, our countertops. We're in good shape to move forward. Before I get too far ahead of myself, I definitely want to put in the wall cabinets, so let's go ahead and do that. So I know that I only have wall cabinets going across this side, and they were 12 inches deep according to the CAD drawings. Typically, wall cabinets are about 18 inches from the top of the countertop. So I'm going to grab the measuring tape tool and I'm going to drag up a line 18 inches. I'm also going to drag out a line on this side, but then I'm going to put it right back where I started. So that will help me be able to gauge what's happening with the wall cabinets. So they're sitting right in here. Now I can decide how tall do I want the wall cabinets. Standard is 30 inches high. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to pull it up 30 inches just to kind of show me what that's going to look like. That's not bad. Now I could go a little higher if I wanted to, so I could go to 36 inches. I could also go to 42 inches. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick with 30 inches. We're going to keep it nice and simple. So again, this is super easy. Just grab the rectangle, click in one corner, and then go to the diagonal. You're making a box. And we are on top of the wall group right here. So the walls are grouped, and so when we draw this, it's a separate face from the walls. So the lines will not get dim when you put this on. Now if the walls were not grouped, the lines would dim to indicate that we actually scored the wall, but we didn't. We were just placing a rectangle on top of the wall. I'm going to grab my push-pull tool, and I'm going to pull out 12 inches, and that is the start of our wall cabinets.